Greeting friends and fellow crafters, it's Leanne and I'm here with Scrapping for Less using this cute greeting farm set called Holiday Wishes. So here I did get my tonic stamping platform. It's the travel size. I already have my stamp positioned on there, and I'm going to use MFT's Extreme Black ink to stamp up my penguin image. And then I'm going to play a little catch game and do some CPR stamping down this image. And I'm going to ink it up again just to make sure that I get a completely good cover on there. So here we go with some compressions again. Alright, got that inked up to my satisfaction. And then I decide that I'm going to clean off my stamped image, or clean off my stamp. And then I'm going to get that sentiment ready and go ahead and stamp it while I've got everything out. So my stamp, I did realize I did not exactly get it clean last time I used it. And so you'll notice. But I'm going to use my anti-static powder tool and get my Versamark ink. Stamp up that sentiment because we're going to do some heat embossing in just a few minutes. So here we go. Ink that up. At least my paper is actually in the corner, so at least it's not moving too much. Decide to use my magnet to hold it back down. A few more CPR compressions after inking it up again, and we're ready for the embossing powder. First, I did decide I'm going to use my Versa marker and do the little pom-pom on the top of the penguin's hat. That way I can emboss that as well. So using Wow embossing powder called Ho Ho Ho, which I received from my very first design team 3 years ago. And I only pull it out at the holidays. It's got reds and silvers, and it's just very pretty. So here we go. Put that powder back in the container so I can have it for next year. And then I'm going to get my heat tool out, and we're going to do some heating up front to back to front to back to front, so that hopefully my paper won't warp. I am using Recollections 110 pound, and it works really well for me. I did cut this down to 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 so that it's perfect for my card size. I will cut it down a little bit on each side all the way around once I do go to use it. So now I'm getting a mask that I made. This is masking paper from Inkadink. And I'm gonna, right now you can't see, but off camera I'm struggling getting the mask away from the backing sheet. And so here we go. Mask off my little penguin. And then we're going to have a little Distress Oxide stamping fun using, I believe that's Shaded Lilac and Broken China. Either that or it's Milled Lavender. I really don't remember which I used. But these snowflakes came with the stamp set. For a little stamp set, it really packed a punch. I'm really happy with my card that came out of this, and I think you will be too. So there was 2 sizes of the stamps of the snowflakes, and so I just alternated between the Broken China and whatever that crazy purple color is that I decided to use. And so here we go. Now we'll just put that away and pull off that masking, and there we have the snowflakes all around the penguin without getting him snowed on. How's that? Alright, so I'm pulling out a couple of my chameleon pens. This is cinnamon red and grass green. And here we're going to color it up. I first used, decided I was going to try and blend it, but it wasn't working for me today. So we just went ahead and used it full strength and I'm still very happy with the way my card turned out. So that's all good. Um, Anyway, okay, so there's the red. Then I decide, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and do his hat. I did try and do a little blending again, and that's when I decided, you know what, let me just go full strength. So we got a little bit of red on his hat, and then a little bit of red in the scarf, which I'm going to go over again. And then we're going to grab that grass green, and we're going to do a little up there on the top, and then on the scarf. I decided to leave the stars on the scarf as they were for right now until I figure out what I want to do with them. But I thought he looked quite festive there. So then I'm going to pull in the deep black of my chameleon pen. Did I? Yes, the deep black to go ahead and color up my penguin. The little bit on his face, and then his little flipper wings, and then the rest of his body. Maybe not. Yep. Then I used Seville orange for his beak and his feet. Then I decided to bring in my silver wink of Stella to color up those stars on the scarf. So there we go with my coloring. Very happy with that. Then we bring in the big shot. And I have some glitter paper from Die Cuts with a View that I'm running through here. I love that paper because it is it's fully coated and it does not shed. And I used one of my Lawn Fawn stitch dies that cut out my little snowbanks, and it leaves a stitching on both sides. So I bring in my tonic trimmer and go to town to get this thing trimmed up to fit my card base, or my card panel actually. And then we'll measure it up and see if it fits right. But of course, why would it? So we're going to go ahead and finish trimming up my card base the way I needed to. And then I'll realize that, yeah, my snowbanks are a little too high. So I'll pull that trimmer back out, do a little bit more trimming, and yeah, I'll pull that trimmer back out, do a little bit more trimming so that his happy feet aren't hidden. There we go. That makes me happy. So here's where I'm looking for my tape. All right, I found my double stick tape so I can put this first panel down. There we go. So there he is on his little snowbank. And then I'm going to pull in some foam tape so that I can pop the smaller layer up. I do apologize that I'm off screen for some of this. I'm not on my normal craft desk. I was getting a terrible glare with my glass mat and trying to film on my normal workstation. So I decided to move my glass mat, not realizing that I really do need to adjust my camera angle for this. And so using some foam, like I said, I'm popping this layer up, having a little trouble getting the backing off of the foam because that's just how I roll. Nothing can be easy, right? There we go. I guess if it was easy, it could be store-bought, right? So there we go. Now I'm going to get that up on I have my card base which is a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 top folding, and trying to decide how I'm going to put that up. I don't know what I decided. I guess I decided to use foam. I actually made this card a couple days ago, and I'm just now doing my voiceover. And it'll be live in just a few hours, just because I worked all week. So here we go, foam down. Now I'll use some of my double stick tape to adhere it to the card base. I do use foam from Michael's that I get with a coupon, and it's just the right dimension for me. So here we go. This is the end of the video. Here is my card, and I hope you like the way it turned out. Thanks for watching. Come back.